Here's another video, and he'll vouch that he flew for that airline, he flew that same aircraft on that same route, going to the same airport, Reagan National. So let's hear what he has to say.
25, and unfortunately, last night on January 20th.
Go back and just we'll just restart from the very beginning here.
Today is January 30th, 2025, and unfortunately, last night on January 29th, just before 9 p.m., we had a fatal aviation crash.
Go and check out his channel.
16 years. I may be
put the link in
the
video description below.
Because not only did I fly for this airline for 12 years, I had made friends. I've made lifelong friends from this airline. I still know people that work there. I've also flown that exact aircraft, and I've also flown that exact aircraft into Washington, D.C., doing that exact approach. And before we get started, I need to make it clear, I am not going to speculate on this video. I'm not even going to assume on what happened or who's at fault, even though right now it's very clear to me that I think that the pilots of this flight did nothing wrong, and I think that they were flying a normal approach. This is about information. My goal in doing any of my videos, whether it's TikTok or Instagram, is always to bridge the gap between the pilots and the passengers and show you guys some transparency in what's going on. So let's do the quick take, and then I'm going to show you a video that I received of this approach so you guys can kind of get a glimpse, and I hope this information kind of helps you understand and maybe reveal a little bit more about what's going on. So the quick take is this was an American Eagle flight, also known as PSA Airlines. It's a wholly owned subsidiary of American Airlines. It's flight 5342. This was tail number 709 Papa Sierra. I remember this airplane well. This is known as the sport.
eBay online shopping and selling.
The sports car of the CRJs, because it's got the bigger engines than the 200. The 200 was known as a dog, very hard to climb, more cramped. The 700 has a bathroom up front, and the 900 is bigger, but the engines it's more of a SUV. The 700 basically almost has the same engines as the 900, but it's known as like very high performance, and you could climb very high very quick. Not that it really matters in this situation. It was coming in from Wichita, Kansas to Reagan National, and this was just before 9 p.m. It happened on January 29th, and it collided with a U.S. Army black helicopter that was flying below on Potomac. And we're going to watch this video here, and I'm going to show you a couple things, and just to kind of see from our perspective what is going on. I worked as a sim instructor at PSA, and I would teach this approach all the time, and it's very fun. So let's take a look here at this video. Now, I can't hear this audio, but I've listened to it another time. And before you go run into the FAA, I did not take this video. I believe this is all the way from 2010, and the person that sent it to me is retired. I'm going to actually turn down the volume just a little bit. But here's the video. This is coming in to runway 1 into Washington National. And
the Woodrow Wilson Bridge.
We're going to go to Google Earth. So the runway 1 visual, a visual versus an ILS, right? If the weather's bad, you need to track instruments all the way in. But a visual, what it does is gives you more visual separation, allows you a little more flexibility, and you don't have to worry. It's less strict on the rules. So the Mount Vernon visual states that you come in and you pass over the George Washington Bridge, I believe it is. It's been a while since I've done this approach. We don't take the 777 into here, but we come in here and you kind of have a visual reference of, okay, here's how we're going to go, and we're going to come down here. Now, what happens in Washington is it's so much congestion. I cannot tell you how insane this airport is to fly into. But as you come in, what they'll ask you is, they'll say, so normally you'd come straight in and land here. But what they'll ask you is they'll say, hey, are you able to circle to land runway 33? Now, 33 is degrees, right? Runway 1 is basically direct north. 36 would be direct north, 1 degree to the right over here. 33 is there. So we got, 40 degrees off. And what they'll ask is, instead of landing here, can you come over here and land 3-3? And what that allows is reduced separation so you can get aircrafts in or out, because this airport is, let's just be honest, it's tiny. It's short. You don't really have parallels. If you compare this to Dulles or Charlotte or Atlanta, you have multiple airports runways where you're just firing off and landing at the same time. This basically, if you took this runway out of service, you would land one runway, take off one runway. That's the same thing. And you'd have to add up the space, and this would add time to the flight. So what they can do is come in around here and bank left And as you'll see in the video here in a second, they'll take off and you're landing right behind them. And this allows to increase efficiency and separation. So let's take a look at this video. So as they're coming in, most airports, pretty much all airports, at 1,000 feet, you are not allowed to make turns below 1,000 feet. It's called being stable. And in fact, almost every airline has it, and you'll call it and you'll call it and say 1,000 and you call stable, and you may hear that. And that just means that you're stable, you're not sinking more than 1,000 feet, and you're not turning, and you're all configured. Now, Washington, you can make turns to adjust to keep on the center line, but you are not going to be making big turns like this. Now, Washington National, at least for our company, makes exceptions for this rule. And as you can see here, what I talk about, they start breaking off. So in the audio, you can hear several times ATC say, "Are you able for 3-3?" And I don't know if I ever didn't accept it. Maybe there was a time there, but again, this happens daily. If you are landing on runway 1, unless 3-3 has an issue or it's closed, they're going to ask many aircraft if you can take 3-3. And this is actually a very fun approach when you're doing it. I really enjoyed this. Now, you will be paying attention. Now, watch as this aircraft, as it comes in here.
I wonder where that's
Normally,
at.
I tended to.
I mean, I know where it's at,
like
but
to
you
stay
get. But
over the.
it's a
just
treatment
kind of
plant,
over the
right?
water right here. I wouldn't get this far over, but this
Okay.
approach looks like they went a little wide, which is, I'm sure it's fine. But I tended to stay a little bit more there. But
I wonder what the road is
downside
right
of
there.
that is what these people are doing here on this approach is it's a nice wide turn off to the left. Now, again, look, you're going to hear this 500-foot
okay, there's
call.
a monument.
Here goes a full bank turn to line up on runway 33 here. Now, keep this in mind. I'm going to show you this video here in a second. So watch this approach right here as they make this turn. Now, this is the final 500 feet. They're making this turn. Now,
Okay.
you can see an aircraft taking
Sorry, I
off from
didn't turn the
runway
phone.
one
I'm
right
just
there.
trying
It's
to.
just crossing over.
I'm watching
33,
it through the
and it's
phone screen now.
now, look right here as I pause this. You are lined up. They are maybe 200-300 feet. We are only maybe 10 seconds away for where this aircraft collided. Now let's go to the actual crash video. Okay. Now imagine you're a pilot, right? And you're watching here, and you're looking to the left. That helicopter, we're looking south here, which means that came to the right. So imagine all your focus is down, looking to the left. And this helicopter is coming from this side, on the right side that you shouldn't be looking for. Now, if I'm just going to talk about this frankly for a second, a lot of times they will do this. They'll say maintain visual separation. So we have some of that audio, and apparently there's a mix and match because I know military will talk on UF or different frequencies apparently, and you won't always hear them, but ATC can hear them. And it's very strange to me that in this type of approach, I cannot explain to you as a pilot just how, there's not an approach that I've flown as a commercial pilot, at least in the United States, that takes more concentration or effort than a visual to 1, circle to 3-3. If these pilots are circling in here, that you are about to put this plane down on a 5,400-foot runway, you should not have to be looking for traffic. And it is my opinion that out of this, either this runway is going to close or there is no more helicopter traffic coming under. Because there is no reason as a pilot, when you're landing that close to the ground, that you should have to be looking for traffic and worried about getting hit. Like, it's just simply unexcusable. And what I think happened, and again, maybe this is a tiny bit of speculation here, but even if we go back to this crash video, a lot of people keep talking about this airplane here. What most people don't realize, that airplane is in front. That airplane is taking off over here and it's making this left-hand turn. So the crash you're seeing is behind. That aircraft is already in front. That took off runway 1 and is avoiding one of the restricted airspaces north here of that. So this here, oops, I'm sorry, I keep moving that. I'm on the wrong thing. So that aircraft that you're seeing in the video is up here making a left turn and going up the bank. So
Oh, I hate
As a
commercials.
professional mechanic, your tools are essential for your living. Icon tools complete every repair without giving an inch. Go with
I got an
Icon
impact
tools.
driver?
Tool truck
Since
quality,
when?
Unbeatable value. Only at Harbor Freight.
Huh.
So coming back to that crash, as I said, watch this video, and they got hit from the right, and now you're here. All your effort, both your heads are turning left, looking here, and now you're worried about something at night hitting you from the right. That's pretty insane to me. What I think happened, if we back up here a little bit and we go back up the river.
That's crazy. The Woods Wilson Bridge is that close?
Almost, allowing this 1 and 3-3, you can almost land 2 planes at once. So when they said, ATC said, hey, you have a
I know that close to the
I did not
airport.
hear him specify runway 33. Now, I'm not sure. Maybe any Black Hawk helicopters can chime in and let me know. But I do not think that they would even understand that concept. Maybe. But what I think happened is they saw another aircraft coming right here, because these aircrafts just get stacked in here. They may have been looking up here, the river, and the reality is they didn't realize the plane that they saw was all the way down here. Now, again, if I had to guess, this could be some type of procedural or ATC mistake. I do not think that this was anything on the airline or the pilots, which is, as I mentioned, is just tragic to me, because it's like, imagine you're doing your job, you're doing everything right, and somebody else messes this up for you. On planes, we have something called TCAS. It's called Traffic Collision Avoidance System. And Traffic Collision Avoidance System is basically 2 aircraft that talk to each other, and it warns you about other aircraft in the area, and if it's too close, it gives you a signal. The first one is called TA, called Traffic Advisory. It's just saying, hey, there's something there, not yet something to worry about, but be aware of it. Then there is an RA. An RA stands for Resolution Advisory, and that basically means take action now, and the plane will actually tell you to climb or descend, and basically tells the other. So if there's 2 coming at it, it'll tell 1 to go up, 1 to go down, and get out of there. By the way, I have my PSA Express wings on today in honor of this flight. Now, here's the thing. RAs, Resolution Advisories, are apparently disabled below 1,000 feet. Because think about it, how many times you're in on an airport and all these planes look like they're going to hit or collide? I mean, even here in this video here, as you come in, right, this aircraft is taking off right as they're approaching. You can see that aircraft right there is taking off as it's approaching. You might start getting RAs all the time, and then when you were perfectly safe to land, it's there. So I also just got off the phone with my military buddy, and he made a good point that typically when aircraft here are coming down this bank of this river, they're typically at 100 feet off the ground, because it's a helicopter, right? As I mentioned in this video already, a CRJ coming in to land on 3-3, making a banking turn between 5 and 300 feet, should not have to worry about hitting a helicopter. So it is my opinion, after talking to the military pilot, that it's possible the helicopter was too high, and then there was a combination of miscommunication or maybe even an error for ATC instructions. But I thought that was a real quick point to add, that the RA is disabled below 1,000 feet. And had the RA not been below 1,000 feet, then this would have kicked in and told, hey, whoa, go, move. But unfortunately, that was disabled because of the complexity of this airport. And as I said, typically an RA wouldn't work till about here. This is about 1,000 feet right here, probably. And typically an RA would work from here or above, but after this it would be disabled. So
one of the biggest frustrations I've constantly faced with crypto is trying to on-ramp my cash. It's honestly prevented me from a lot of opportunities as I wait for deposits and transfers to clear. With Kraken, I can easily deposit my funds and get trading without having to wait for my deposit to clear. The process is simple. Once you're signed up, you can instantly on-ramp your funds and get trading right away. The best part is when you're ready to off-ramp your profits,
So if I'm just talking just as a pilot to people that want to listen, this is horrible. This is tragic. This should have never happened. But once again, we always get something out of it. There's always something that we figure out and learn. I should mention in here, I don't know if you heard it back in the audio, but even here, I hear ATC at some point in this video saying, hey, helicopter traffic, be advised. So this isn't like a new thing. And when I fly into DC here, I always would see helicopters. Like that's normal. But I never thought I would have to worry about hitting a helicopter right here. Like, that is just insane to me. That is really crazy. And yeah, so I don't know. I'm just kind of at a loss for words. And all I can hope, you know, I was really hoping there may be some survivors, but this is, you know, a tragic event. It's to me, it seems senseless, and I hope we get some answers. But at the end of the day, this is just the knowledge of what I've shared and my experience, and that's my opinion, is that that I think that there was a mistake on identifying, and I think some changes are going to come out of this. I don't see how you should be avoiding helicopters as you're trying to land the plane on a 5,400 foot runway on a short approach, you know, in banking at the last minute like that. Like, especially if you're banking there. Had you be banking the other way, you might have been looking that way and seen something. So I'm not sure, but I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much for, let me know in the comments what you think. You know, as I'll probably do another video once we get more information, but I can't remind you enough. This is horrible, but again, statistically, we just went 16 years without a crash. And considering I think we move about 2 to 3 billion people a year, it's still the safest way to fly. I would not be worried to get on a plane. Again, we're going to learn from this. We're going to come out the other side, and I can only hope that the victims' families, you know, find some comfort.
Well, there was a plane crash in Philadelphia, a little medical.
Thanks for watching.
A little medical flight.
Stay safe.
Going to Mexico, I think it was. So, yeah, no.
Gold standard.
Plus, flying is too expensive, anyways. I'd rather drive. It's cheaper, you know. So.
You're worth your weight in gold. Golden boy, golden girl, golden goose, golden egg.